no minimum purchase and no down payment. Saturday only at Ashley. Coming soon to Cleveland.
Local 3 News. Coverage you can count on.
It is probably say that for most of us, life is pretty routine. We typically get up at the same time, we go to the same grocery stores, see the same friends, go to the same job. But for very many people in our community, a day is anything but routine. Mimi Nikkel knows that very well. She is the founder of Love's Arm, a wonderful nonprofit here in town. And I guess you technically have an office, don't you, Mimi?
I do. I now technically have an office. It's not in my home, and our office is located in the Metropolitan Ministries Impact Hub on Rossville Boulevard.
I mentioned I hadn't even thought about the home component. I was thinking because really what you do is you take this big heart of yours, you and your staff and volunteers, and your office is really the streets of Chattanooga every day. Pretty much you are out really ministering to people who a lot of us don't normally see.
That is correct. We are at work in this city in about a 12.5-mile area that covers the whole city in various aspects.
You and I could talk about a lot of things, and we probably will touch on some of the backstory because there are plenty of people watching who maybe have heard about Love's Arm, but they don't know exactly what you do. But you're growing. That growth has now extended to a partnership you have with CEMPA. So you are taking their mobile medical unit, right, directly to the people who you're ministering, and I'll let you elaborate from there.
That's correct. We're so grateful for this new partnership with CEMPA. We, for a long time, just had a lot of angst about how could we meet the healthcare needs of the survivors we served in the streets of Chattanooga.
And who are you serving? Tell people who you're helping.
We love, advocate, and support survivors of trafficking, prostitution, and addiction.
Okay.
Here in Chattanooga.
Which is a large group of people.
It is, and it has increased greatly. You know, we had a 171% increase in homelessness last year in Hamilton County, and we have seen about a 40% increase in activity with people working in the streets and in the hotels.
I'm using some words kind of purposefully. I mean, earlier I said that a lot of us will never see. You were sharing a story with me about a woman who you had ministered to for about 14 years. She kind of was the impetus behind this partnership with CEMPA. I'll let you tell her story.
She was. We had known and loved her and cared for her in those streets. She had some emotional and mental incapacitation, and she got sick. And last fall, she told us she was sick and asked us to pray for her, and we did. And 6 weeks later, they just found her dead. And when that happened, it was such an eye-opener for us, and we began just trying to strategize, how can we bring health care to them? Because when they're out there and they're sick and they're just surviving one moment to the next and they get sick, they don't think about going and meeting that need and pursuing health care options for themselves.
I would imagine, I think for a lot of people when you hear about trafficking, human trafficking, my thoughts often go to very young people. I mean, is some of the work that you do, Mimi, even with kids under 16?
We don't necessarily work with the underage population, with survivors under 18.
Okay.
There are other organizations that specifically focus on that underage population. We mainly work with adults who have aged out of that qualifier of being underage and therefore automatically a victim of trafficking.
I don't know how long it's been since you and I had our first conversation, maybe 5 or 6 years, something like that. And it's amazing to me what it takes to every day bring the passion you have to the work that you do. The same is true for the folks at CEMPA. They've been around a little bit longer than you, but it sure has paid off. They were Nonprofit of the Year last year, right?
Yes, they were, and they just set this amazing standard of care and truly care in offering their services, and they want to meet people where they are with their health care needs, and that's exactly what we do at Love's Arm. We always said we meet people where they are, in the streets, in the jail, wherever they may be.
But because you do, you are a judgment-free contact for these often women, but people, they begin to trust you, and you do see lives transformed.
We do, and it's in various different ways. We have a 6, now 7 program structure of continuity of care. So when someone comes to us, we help to identify what are their immediate needs, and then help them transition towards resources and assistance to meet those so that they can continue step by step to walk out of this life and find a life worth loving.
So if you are in, is the radius you're going to cover with this mobile unit primarily downtown Chattanooga?
Some downtown Chattanooga, and then some in primarily in another area.
Okay. So people can watch, and will they see it? Is it labeled like the CEMPA logo?
Oh yes, the CEMPA, they have a very large mobile unit with a physician provider that will be in that unit, going with us, and we will be tag teaming with them through cell phone and radio, so that it's not too overwhelming, but that they can just say, we're here if you would like to get some health needs met and some health care check. You can step back to our unit here and we'll help you with that.
Just another example of how different life can be for those of us probably watching this morning versus the people who you are helping. There already is a facility in that area of town where people can go. It's just a logistical trick to get them there. So getting this unit coming to them might be just what the doctor ordered.
Yes, it is, and we're so grateful for that, because you know what's just a distance of about a 1 mile that's easy for us to think about traveling in our car or even walking. For them, they don't even think about that, because there's so much chaos going on in their hearts and minds all day long.
You have seen things grow. If people are watching this morning and they think, I kind of want to help her with this journey, do you take volunteers?
Oh, we do, and we're in need of more volunteers right now, specifically to assist working our helpline and to plug into our acute care plan that we're starting to facilitate. And so if someone wants to volunteer with us, they can apply to volunteer on our website. They just need to go to www.lovesarmoutreach.org and click the volunteer tab, and the volunteer application is there for them, and they can begin the processes.
They have a new mission statement. I won't ask her to share it with you, but I think it's safe to say that Love's arm never has too far. It has to extend, right? You're happy to bring anybody into it that you possibly can. Great to see you, Mimi.
It's good to see you too, Julie.
So watch for that CEMPA mobile unit to be coming around to neighborhoods, perhaps where you are this morning, depending on where you're watching our show. And if you or someone you know could benefit from this very philanthropic outreach, please don't hesitate to go and say, hey, I could use an appointment myself. If you'd like to learn more about Love's Arm, the website is lovesarmoutreach.org, and there's their phone number as well.
Thank you so much.
West Yellowknife Trading Post has everything under the sun. Great selection of beautiful exterior doors with side lights from $9.95. Half-inch plywood is now in stock. Don't pay big box prices, but hurry, limited quantities available. You better get it when you see it at West Yellowknife.
Seems like CBD stores are popping up on every corner. Make sure you choose a knowledgeable vendor you can trust, like the Hemp House. Choose from products that are locally sourced from farmers we work with directly. Our friendly